What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Where do I begin? On Deals, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. J Deals, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Them boys lose 118 and 105. The Big Cat, 24 points, 18 rebounds. The Captain, 22 points, 4 assists. Big task. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Dunrose. What's going on, man? Appreciate you rocking with LV Live. Listen, man, you know, we're currently 0-7 against the top teams in the league. And out of the last 4 games, we've gotten blown out in every single one of them. What did I say last show, right? Friday. I said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Correct? That's what I said. Jeremy, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Tough loss from the boys, 118 and 105. I feel like I'm going insane. Okay? I feel like I'm going insane. Like, it's the same thing, man. And you know, before we're so quick to throw Bridges underneath the bus, Bridges is this, and Precious is this, and Cat can't defend anybody, and all these things. And some things may be true. Like, some things may be true. Like, let's not deny that. But let me ask you guys a question. This Grover, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Tough loss from the boys, 118 and 105. Let me ask you guys a question. If Bridges was on Dallas, does he look better than this? If he was on OKC, does he look better than this? You know, I just like to ask those questions. Damn it, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss, boys, 118 and 105. If Precious was coming off the bench in OKC or with the Lakers or with the Celtics, would he look like this? I like to ask these questions. I like to, because it's a lot deeper than that. And of course, you know, the whole Bridges slander is all about because of the picks. No one felt we should have gave up them picks. You know, a lot of people are upset because they're like, oh, we should have did this, we should have did that. Well, if you don't make that move, what are you going to do? Who are you going to get? And everybody's in the stars. Everybody's in fantasy land. Oh, we could have got Giannis. We could have got all these other guys. You know, guys are just on another planet. Thinking that with those 5 picks, we're getting Giannis, we're getting Joker, we're getting all the superstars to come and play for the Knicks. It doesn't go like that, man. It doesn't go like that. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss from boys, 118 to 105. I don't think we have a bad team, guys. I don't think we have a bad team. I think we got a really good team. I think we do. Do we need to strengthen up the bench? Yes. Do we need Mitch back? Yes. But what I'm noticing is this. I'm noticing we're beating the lower teams because we're more talented than those teams. That's what I'm seeing. And even the wins that we squeak out, we're squeaking out those wins. You know why? Because we're more talented than those teams. But when we get to teams that are just as good as us, or if not better, we're getting throttled, man. Throttled. So what happens is when you're playing against teams that are the same as you or somewhat better than you, right? It doesn't come down to the players. It does, but not really, because it's equal in a sense. It comes down to scheme. It comes down to coaching style, and it comes down to who's the better general. Who's the better general? Who knows how to put his pieces in the right places to succeed? Who knows his pieces' superpowers and weaknesses to put them in situations to succeed? It's the art of war, man. It's the art of war. This is easy. This is not hard. So, yeah, we can look to blame all these guys. We can look to blame Leon and all these other pieces. But let me ask you guys something. I'm going to throw this out there. Let me ask you guys something. If we flip the script, We flip it, right? You give Tibbs everybody he wants. Everybody he wants. What happens? Oh, do we look like the Celtics? Do we? Last year we were good, but we hit a ceiling, right? We hit a ceiling. All his teams are the same, guys. All his teams are the same. They have a bunch of rugged guys who can play defense and who are hard-nosed, and they got maybe one or two dudes that can score. But everyone else is a defensive monster, right? That's how we looked last year. But we hit a ceiling because we could not score a lick. You know who was very similar to that? The Chicago Bulls when Derrick Rose was there. I'm just being honest. It was the same team. Who was the heart of the lion? It was Derrick Rose, right? Jalen Brunson, right? Derrick Rose had to score everything. Then you would add in a sprinkle of Luol Deng. Then you would add in a sprinkle of maybe Jimmy Butler and a couple other pieces here and there. But that was it. The games were 89-92. That's how the games were. Gravity, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live 118 and 105. Tough loss on the boys. So last year, who was the heart of the line? Same as this year, but we got more offensive pieces, right? Who was the center of everything? It was Brunson. It was Brunson, right? So he's playing 38 to 40 something minutes, right? Because we need him to score because we have no other offensive pieces because you're giving him all defensive guys. So what happened? We reached our ceiling. We can get stops, but we can't score. I said this before. Anybody check it, check the book. I said it before. I said there's a possibility that this league might have outran Tibbs. I said that, didn't I? I said that. There's a possibility. And the reason why I'm stressing that is because I'm looking at our squad and I'm saying to myself, okay, what's the problem here? You know, we got to be honest. Guys, first quarter, 38-19. 38-19 was the first quarter score. I knew the game was over. And of course, the second guy give Campaign and Shamet some credit. That second unit came in, made a big push in that second quarter. We cut the lead. But then we were still down by 21 at the half. 21 by the half to this game, 27 against Cleveland. It's the same story. It's the same stuff. Then Brunson comes out. It's got to be a superhero. So does Cat. They score 29 in the third. Cut the lead down. It was down 89-85 because of Brunson and the Big Cat's heroics. But it's the same story. Defensive shifts. They don't know where to go. And there's two guys chasing one guy. That's all coaching, man. That's all coaching. And I think we have a really good team. I think we do. The bench has to get better. Of course, we got to get back Mitch. But here's the question, guys, I have for you. If we get a better bench, Mitch comes back. Is this still the same problem? We got the same guys. No one's leaving. Okay, look, everyone's tired of Bridges. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Is Cat leaving? No, he's not. Brunson ain't going nowhere. Is Josh Hart leaving? No. Is OG Anunoby going? No. We just paid him $212 million. This is the same team coming back. And yes, I feel like Tibbs is going to probably wind up coming back too, but we got to identify what the problems are, guys. That's my issue. We got to identify what the problems are. Jay Screams says Tatum and Brown are better than OG and Bridges. Derek White is better than Hart. Agreed. They're better. They're better. Well, let me ask you something, Jay Supreme. Are they better to the point where we're getting blown out by 2021? Is it that bad? I don't think it's that big of a difference, man. They're better, yes. They're all-stars. Like, we get it. But are they that much better to where we get blown out? Cat and Brunson are better than the other two. So we got top guns too. But Jay, here's the biggest thing of all of it, right? Here's the biggest thing of all of it. Who's using their pieces better? That's what I'm getting to. Who's using their pieces better? That's all I'm getting. That's what I'm getting to. And here's the thing: it's not like Missoula is this coaching genius. He learned this stuff from Udoka, and it carried over with this team. You think the Cavs, skill-wise, are that much better than us to where we lose by almost 40? Think about it, guys. This is what I'm trying to break down to you. They're not that much better than us. For us to get blown out in these games, that's what I'm trying to get to. I give these teams credit. They're legit. They're good. But I look at our talent. I look at what we have and who we are. I don't think it's to the point where we should be getting smoked by this, like this, man. Big task. The Knicks played much better against Boston last season. What happened this year? Boston is relatively the same team. Big task. I said it earlier, man. And this is what I think it is, big task. I think these aren't Tibbs guys. Joe DeLuca, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live this afternoon. Tough loss to the boys, 118 and 105. The Big Cat, 24 points, 18 rebounds. Big task. These aren't his guys, man. We played better last year because it was his guys. He had a bunch of hard-nosed dudes who just play defense but don't score. So all they do is defend, but we can't compete offensively with anybody. We just can't. So we reached our ceiling with that crew. Now, if we could have brought back iHeart, great, because then I think they probably would have moved off of Mitch. But what I'm saying is you reach your ceiling, big task, offensively. So you got to be able to score with these teams. You can't just play defense. But once again, it's limitations there because I think that it's not the players that have limitations, big task. I think it's the coaching staff. Because you got to be able to identify certain things where players have weaknesses and strengths and use that. Like, I'll give you a perfect example, right? And there's a couple of plays here, right? If you're running, if you're running a double, right? Excuse me, double. If they're running a pick and roll, you're gonna have to switch that pick and roll. You can't continue to chase. You're giving up wide open threes against a team that can shoot threes. You're gonna have to switch. Those are just two things that you got to make quick adjustments with. You cannot continue to chase. They're continuing to give up wide open threes at the top of the key. Guys coming off screens, hitting threes, that's cool. That happens. You got to put your hand up. Man down, right? So you got to contest. That's another thing they got to work on. But what we can't do is allowing guys to chase and double the ball handler, and you're leaving guys wide open. It's simple defensive rotations, man. Like, why are you doing that? That's coaching, man. That's not the guys. They're going to do what the coach is telling them to do. They're not just running out there doing it by themselves. If that's the coach, then he don't need to coach. That means he can't even control his players. That's not what's happening. That's something that's being coached, man. That's what I'm saying when I say the things that I'm saying. These guys, our team doesn't stink, guys. We're not a bunch of dummies. These guys are legit ball players. We got 2 players that started in the All-Star game. That were voted starters. I'm just being honest. So you got to identify what they're doing wrong. I'm seeing what they're doing wrong. Boston's a 3-point shooting team. That's what they want to do. Everything that they do is based over the 3-point line. And what I mean by that is when guys penetrate, if you notice, it's all a scheme. They must have a evil genius in the background, one of these young kids, a whiz kid, saying, yo, this is what we're doing to generate more threes. They have guys penetrating, and whoever's penetrating, that person goes to that strong side and looking for them to swing. They're looking to swing to the corner of that three. That's what they're doing all the time. I can see that. So you can't chase. You're going to have to switch. And like I said last on Friday, whoever's there is going to have to nut up and play defense. I saw Cat switch a couple of times and play Tatum at the top of the key. I thought he was decent. But you're gonna have to switch. You're gonna have to switch because they got you. They got you in a blender because they know you're gonna chase because they know Tibbs ain't gonna change up, man. And that's the stubborn old stuff. They know he ain't going to change up. And that's the frustrating part. Because I'm seeing what they're doing. And every time you see the Knicks, they're chasing. Everything is a chase. They got to read each other. And then also, too, when they're contesting threes with their hands down. A couple of times I've seen OG running out to the three-point line, his hands down. So you got to put your hand up, man. That's coaching. If you can't be good enough like Deuce to fight over that screen and get over, it's got to be an automatic switch. It's got to be an automatic switch. And you got to identify. There was a perfect time in the game today. There was a perfect time in the game when Precious was guarding Tatum at the top of the key. Bridges went to go help and left Brown wide open for three. Why are you going to help? Look, it's a play right here. Look, he's going to help. He slides up. Boom. Look, perfect timing. That's why are you helping? You just don't need the help. He got to check up, man. You got to let him guard. If he can't guard, what he's getting paid millions for? He got to guard. You're leaving open, wide open shooters. That's what I'm saying. That's coaching. You got to tell these guys, stop doing that. Precious got to get on the island. He got to defend. You got to defend. And that's what Boston does. They put the pressure on you to defend. Because they say, okay, he ain't gonna want me going one-on-one here. Yo, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. And the reason why their defense looks good, they're switching everything. They're switching everything. So there's no lane. So when you try to penetrate, a guy's coming over, they're rotating. Their rotations are beautiful defensively. But they're switching everything. They're not leaving things wide open. They're not. They're very disciplined in their lanes and how they do things. I heard something during the broadcast. They said Mazzulla got mad at Tatum because I think he made a bad defensive decision. And he got on him. Tatum comes down and hits a three. But what I'm saying is Mazzulla's holding these dudes accountable, man. And I saw it. I told you. What's the show on Netflix, man? You guys see it? It's when it's when they're watching LeBron, Ant-Man, Tatum, and Sabonis. They're following those guys. They're doing a little docuseries, right, on the NBA guys. I forget what it's called. But Tatum talks about how Mazzulla holds all them dudes accountable. Everybody, this is the same. It's no special treatment. So if them dudes don't do right defensively, whatever, he'd be subbing dudes out. He holds them accountable. You know where he got that from? He got that from Udoka. Udoka does that over there in Houston. The moment you let the inmates run the asylum, that's what's going to happen, man. Them dudes is going to run you. So you got to be the general of the ship. I don't know if Tibbs is the general of the ship. I told you before what I thought of Tibbs. I think he's at a ceiling, but these guys tell you he don't really be coaching dudes. He let dudes do what they want to do. That can't happen. That can't happen because what happens is what you're seeing. You're seeing guys run over the place. They don't even know what they're doing defensively. They're chasing. They just look uncoordinated. They don't know what they're doing. That comes from leadership, man. That comes from leadership. That's why you have a coach. So people want to blame it on the players, and I get it. Bridges didn't have a great game. Deuce didn't play well at all, right? Everybody wants to start Deuce. Deuce didn't play well at all. Precious is struggling, right? Cat's struggling defensively. He's great offensively, but we see what he is. Josh Hart came back. I thought he was great today. He had 20 and 11. He looked great. OG Anunoby was okay. So once again, we could name every issue that we have with these guys. And I think the biggest issue with Bridges, I think the biggest problem with him, I don't even think Bridges is playing overly terrible. I think he has spurts where he plays really well, and I think he kind of has spurts where he struggles, just like most of these guys. But I think the biggest thing with Bridges is the picks. Everyone's talking about these picks. They're talking about, we should have never gave up 5 picks for him. They thought he was going to come in here and be Michael Jordan. I don't know what made them think that. Now, granted, people have a valid reason to say, yo, man, we should have gave up picks for a glorified role player. That's all valid. But there was a tax on it. Everybody knew it. I said it. There's a tax on that. They didn't want to do that deal because it was supposed to bring the whole. They were supposed to bring the whole crew together, whole Villanova tribe, right? That was what it was. The Costa Nostra, right? Everyone was talking about that. Then they made the move to get Cat, and that broke that all up. But what I'm saying is that that's what it was. So, I mean, we can't continue to talk about it and complain. That Bridges was never, listen, he was never going to be able to live up to it. Never. It doesn't matter if he defended, because if he defended and didn't score, they would have been like, he's a bum, he can't score. If he would have scored and not defended like Cat, they would have got mad at him about defending. He would have never been able to live up to those picks, man. Never. Because it's not like he's played totally terrible this year. He had that whole stretch in December where he was killing. You saw what he did on Christmas Day. Then he had great spurts in December. As of late, he's been struggling as of late. It happens in a season. But we can't sit here and say he's had a total terrible season. He hasn't. But he would have never been able to live up to them picks. I said that before, guys. I said that before. He would have never been able to live up to them picks, man. Big Taz says, to me, Bridges' moments where he looks scared. Bridges needs to bring that heart like towards the Spurs game every night. Listen, Big Taz. Agreed. But Big Taz, remember in that Spurs game, he had a lot of touches, man. He was getting busy. He's not going to get all those touches like that every night. It doesn't go like that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes certain nights you're going to have to find your rhythm, especially when you're not the number one option. Eddie Kofi, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Tough loss from the boys, 118 and 105. The captain, 22 points, 4 assists. So you're gonna have nights like that, because on a tech big task, he's basically a role player here, man. He's not, we're looking for him to be a third option offensively, and he can, but that's if they run offensive sets for him. We don't see that. There's times where he's out there and they're running their offense and other guys are shooting instead of him when the other two stars aren't out there. To me, once again, that's coaching. Because you got to say to yourself, yo, this is who we're running our offense through right now. Right? This is the offense we're running through. So once again, he's really a role player, man. He's not, you know what I mean? I don't know what we thought we were getting when we paid them 5 picks. We weren't getting Michael Jordan. Eddie Kofi's, here we go. We must shop OG and Bridges in the offseason. Not going to happen, Eddie Kofi. OG just signed. If I'm correct, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody in the chat, man. We just signed OG to $212 million. I don't even think his contract kicks in. Guys, his contract didn't kick in, right? I think his contract kicks in next season. If I'm correct, everybody tell me. Big Taz, LV, the documentary is called Starting 5. Exactly, Big Taz. Thank you for that. We just paid him $212 million, Eddie Kofi. He's not going anywhere. Right? We just gave up 5 picks and a couple of players for Bridges. That's not happening. He's not going anywhere. He's going to sign the extension. So this like I said earlier, this is the team, guys. This is the team. This is the team. Cat is not going anywhere. He's not. Brunson's not going anywhere, neither is Josh Hart. Here's the problem. Because of what we've shown against these top teams, we kind of already know what our season is. We're going to probably wind up losing in the second round, right? So, I don't know what they do after that, right? We don't know we're going to get the bench together, right? But is things going to be any different next year? I don't know, man. I don't know. And this year was a year to kind of build and get better. And I knew that. I knew this year we weren't really going to go for it. But I felt we can go to Eastern Conference Finals. I felt it was that or bust. But the way we've looked against these top teams, that's not good. Like, that's my issue. It's different if we're close. I love what we showed in that third quarter. I thought that was fabulous. Brunson looked like Brunson. Cat was dominating. We cut the lead to 4. I thought that was a great fight by us. That's how these games should be looking. We shouldn't be getting throttled the way we're, and that's a problem here, guys. That's the issue I have. And so there's a disconnect here. It's not the players. Remember, I ran down the numbers. These guys aren't going anywhere. Eddie Kofi says, Boston traded Marcus Smart because they wanted to move forward. So we can trade. No, I don't think anybody here, please correct me. Eddie, we cannot move. We just paid him. We just paid him $212 million, man. I think just the CBA and all that stuff, we're not going to be allowed to move him at all. And then also, too, Eddie, who's going to pick up that tab? Who's going to pick up OG Anunoby for $212 million? Who's going to pick up that contract with this new CBA and everything going on with the first apron, second apron? No one's going to be able, unless you're like, I don't know, a team like Charlotte. What top team's going to want to do that? Because they got to give up something to do that. It's a lot of bread, man. It's a lot of paper. On DSO's Bridges will stay because he's cheaper option, but you better bet if the OG contract will be out of here to make the team better. Right, on Dios, I get that, but when that contract be out of here? They're not going to do nothing. They can't move that contract this year, so he's going to be back next year. So that's what I mean by this is the team. Eddie Kofi says an additional piece is needed for us to contend. Agreed. We know that. But how? The additional pieces we're going to have to move is going to be like we're going to have to strengthen our bench. The starting five is a starting five. Unless they kind of move somebody from the bench to start, like maybe Mitch or maybe Deuce. But this is the crew. This is the squad. The only thing we're strengthening is our bench. Everyone else is starting five. All them guys are locked in. Locked in. Big tasks for LV, man. The Knicks did show some fight in the second half. Listen, agreed. That's what I meant. That push in that third quarter was beautiful. Led by Brunson, of course, the big cat. That the unit that was out there was Towns, Brunson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Deuce. That looked great. That looked really, really good. And we were getting stops. And we were able to pretty much knock down shots, but that was because it was spearheaded. But Brunson looked like Brunson, man. But he was taking a lot of threes. I think in that quarter, he went 2 for 3 from 3 or 3 from 4, something like that. I think he had 3 of them things in that quarter. So that really helped us to chip down the lead. On DSOs, if Giannis becomes available this summer, OG is gone. If the rumors are true, Giannis wants New York. Right, but it's all got to match up on Dios. And we're not the only team out there. There's going to be a whole bunch of people that want Giannis, man. So, yes, he could bully his way out and be like, I want to go to New York. Cool. But what are the Knicks willing to give up? What can they get? What can they give up? What are they allowed to give up based on the CBA and the apron and all that stuff? That's why we're kind of restricted. Knicks 100 GM, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss for them boys. 118-105. The Big Cat, 24 points, 18 boards. Eric Green, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. 118-105. Tough loss for them boys. The captain, 22 points, 4 assists. Eric Green says, LV, man, we continue to start slow and then have to fight back. I love the way Josh Hart plays off, man. He's the heart and soul, man. He's the heart and soul. Knicks 100 GM says, Cats got to polish his game up. Yo, Knicks 100 GM, man, I think his game is fine, man. I think defensively he struggles, though, man. I think offensively he is what he is, man. He's legit offensively. But Knicks 100 GM, man, he can't guard a cone, man. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to get better with that. But once again, that's his deficiency, man. That's his kryptonite, right? He struggles with that. So as a coach, you got to be able to kind of see that and kind of help. So maybe the Mitch piece will help, and maybe that's why. That's the fact. Minnesota did what they did by bringing Gobert in because that changed everything for them, and that's why they were the best team in the West. You know what I'm saying? Because they found a defensive pillar in there who can switch, can do all those different things to where Cat don't have to worry about that. Knicks 100 GM says, in order for us to get to the next level, Cats got to get better, got to get right, got to get back to basket moves right this offseason. Agreed. Listen, Knicks 100 GM. Let me tell you something, man. I agree with that. I agree with all of that. I agree with all that. But guys, I want you guys to understand this because all you guys are making great points. That cannot happen if your general is not demanding that. You got to call a set from the sideline and say, Brunson, I don't care what you do. We're going to the post. I don't want you just run up here doing what you want to do. We're going to cat in the post. But if that's not happening, and these dudes are allowed to run around like chickens with their head cut off on offense and defense, this will continue. This will continue. Knicks 100 Jim says, we can't dump it down to him and tell him, get us a few in a row, LV. What are you saying? You're saying he doesn't have the skill set to do that? To say, yo, we're going to feed you in the post, get busy? I'm just asking, is that what you're saying? Because I saw it a couple of times tonight. But I know what you mean. Like, if Tatum's on him, right? If Tatum's on him, because Tatum started off the game on him, right? We got to get him in the post to punish Tatum. He's got to punish him. Punish Tatum. So that's what you mean. So I understand that. Because Tatum couldn't do that to Giannis. Giannis would punish him in that Baja. You understand? Dunking all on him and on that. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Eddie Kofi says, why is the offense always through Brunson? Yo, because he's the man, bro. He's the man. It's got to go through him. He's the point guard. He's running the show. He's got Eddie Kofi. He's the one that calls out the plays, man. He got to call out the plays and what we're running. Do you understand what I'm saying? What we're running. He gets hard buckets, LV. I think a lot of times, too, Knicks on the GM, I'll be honest with you. And I'm glad he's like that. But, okay, once again, right, this is why I keep stressing this. You got to have a game plan on what you want to do. If okay, I'll give you a perfect example. If you have a certain game plan, right, you say, yo, this is what we're doing. But Boston comes out and they run something different. You got to be able to adjust to that. You got to be able to adjust. I hope you guys understand that. So if Boston is saying, yo, we're going to put Tatum on Cat, we got to say, oh, you doing that? Okay. We're running diamond, fives out, whatever the call is. Kelly Passion, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live, 118 and 105. Tough loss on the boys, the Big Cat, 24 to 18. Right? Knicks 100 GM. So we're running. I'll call out the play. That's one of the plays we had. Diamond over. Diamond over, we're going to run. So that means everybody go over. Diamond. I'm the point guard, Brunson. Me and the captain. Me and you, Cat, all day. If they running that. Set a screen for Cat. Let him roll over. Cat, you get in that box. Punish that boy. The game is not hard. The game is really simple, man. The game is really simple. They make an adjustment. We make an adjustment. They do something based on that. We do something based on this. It's that simple, man. It's based on who your general is, man. That's what this is. If that's the case, Knicks 100 GM, you go out and you coach. You understand what I'm saying? You can coach the Knicks if that's what it is, but you got to make adjustments. That's why your coach is there on the sidelines because he sees what they're running. Then Brunson will come back. Brunson will come like, yo, listen, yo, they got such and such on Cat. I used to do this all the time in the game. Like, yo, coach, listen, yo, they got such and such on my man. Boom. All right, cool. Yo, we're going to run. What's another play we had? Box 45 or something like that. We're on a 45. All right, cool. Yo, 45. That's what we run the next play. Because that's what they're doing. We're not just going to keep on running our offense and you're not even identifying the mismatches, man. That's the whole purpose of the game. And that's not happening. That's not happening. Why is that not happening? I'm just being honest here. Tendria, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Lab. Oh, let me know if am I pronouncing your name right? Tendria. I see Andrea. Am I Tendrea? Is that it? Tendrea? Let me know. Put it in the caps, man, or something like that. Let me know because I don't want to butcher your name. I appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live. 118-105. Tough loss for them boys. The Big Cat, 24 points, 18 rebounds. Tendria. Okay, I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, cool. All right, let me see here. Okay, so Tendria says the Knicks lost their grit. We got to get rid of our dogs. We got rid of our dogs, Devo and iHeart. The team is soft, and opponents don't respect them. Agreed. Listen, they got rid of the grit, but in order to do that, the reason why they did that, Tendria, they got rid because we needed to score more. That team reached its ceiling offensively. We weren't going to get better. We were not going to be able to compete with this. So defensively, yeah, we were solid, but we was not going to be able to compete offensively. iHeart had to walk because he got money, right? We were not going to renew Randall's deal. So we had to get something to supplement for that. Cat is a way better player than Randall. Randall is not the offensive player he is as Cat, and he's just as bad defensively. We've seen Randall. You know what I'm saying? So, but offensively, he's not the player Cat is. So they're both question marks, if that makes any sense. But they wanted Dante in the deal. So you lost some of your three-point shooting and you lost some of your grit with that, right? So you lost all three of them dudes, got back basically Cat and Bridges. So you lost something, but you gained something back too. So that's why I say Tibbs is struggling because I think these aren't his guys. He's got a certain formula that what he likes. And most of the time, it's just a bunch of gritty guys who can't really score, but they all defend. You know, like the Keith Bullocks, the Alfred Paytons, the Luau Dangs, the Joakim Noahs, right? He likes those type of guys, man. Remember, Jimmy Butler was like that before he could score. He was a defensive guy. Then he got better offensively, right? So this is the guys he likes. Finesse guys like what we got a bunch of finesse dudes. He struggles with stuff like this because his defensive schemes doesn't respond to guys like that. So this is all adjusting. And I think he's having a hard time adjusting with these guys. And remember, like I said before, I'm going to say it again, he's 67 years old. He's stuck in his ways. He's not going to change. People get mad because he's stubborn. He's 67, man. What do we expect the guy to do? He's going to be him. He ain't going to change for nobody. So there's a ceiling that comes with that. And so I think that that's what's happening here with us. Knicks 100 GM said, my point exactly. Cat and Drew on him in the post, and all we could do was try to overpower him. Yo, but I see what you're saying. You're saying that's why you feel Cat should work on his moves, right, and get better. Agreed. But we got to use that, man. He's got to dominate. Vibes, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live. Tough Lawson boys, 118-105. Captain, 22 points, 4 assists. So yes, if you feel like Cat's got to get better with his, but he can have polish, which I think he does. Knicks 100 GM because he's skilled, but he's got to get that power game with them dudes. Like he can't play around with them in that post because he's bigger, he's stronger than those guys. You got to use that because Drew is a really good player, but you're bigger than him. You got to get busy with him. Finesse ain't gonna do it with him. It's got to be power and skill. That's how you handle those dudes. You get N1s all day. You finger strong that Baja. You baby them. That's it. You baby them cats. So that's where he's got to get better. But that comes from coaching too. You got to establish that. You got to say, yo, we're doing that. I don't care. That's what we're running. Cat, get busy. That's it. Knicks 100 Jim said, I said it at the beginning of the season. We're a finesse team and nobody wanted to hear it. I don't think nobody wanted to hear it, man. I don't agree with that. I don't think who disagreed with you. I don't know. We didn't disagree with you. Khaled Pasha said they literally iced out Cat in the first half. I think Khaled, I think that's all like scheming, man. I think that's scheme once again, man. Once again, you got to identify the mismatches, right? If you got Tatum on him yo, you got to put him in the post. He's not going to beat Tatum at the top of the key trying to dribble. You got to get him on the box. If they come dibble, they come double, you got to swing it. Cat's a great passer out of the post. Bang, bang. Josh Hart's cutting. OG Anunoby cutting. Bridges is a great cutter. Or if not, you got Brunson for 3 at the top of the key. Bang, bang. I mean, this game is simple, man. It's really not hard. But who's leading the ship, though, man? That's the question. Cat's got to polish his game a little, and he'll be the MVP if he do. Knicks 100 GM dropping bombs in here as usual, coming through with the flames. Eddie Kofi says Mitch is not the savior, so let's not have high expectations. Yeah, he's not. He's not. I know what Mitch can bring, but against these teams, you know when Mitch is going to help, Eddie. You know when Mitch is going to help. He's going to help on that second unit because we get killed on the glass when he's not there. Precious is not the answer, right? So now you put him with Precious, Mitch with Precious. That's a great look. That's a great look because then we can get busy on the glass, right? And then you allow Precious to play his true position of the 4 with a guy like Mitch. It'll work out. It'll work out. Disc Rover says Mitch is not our silver bullet, and we got to stop treating him like he's the Messiah. Yeah, man. I think Mitch is just a piece. You know, he's going to help, but is he? Guys, once again, right? I don't think it's the players. I think it's the scheme. I think it's what we're being taught. What we're being taught defensively is terrible. Like, there was a play today. I don't know who was at the top of the key. I think it was Cornette. Cornette set a screen for Tatum coming off the screen on OG Anunoby, right? When I looked down in the paint, Precious Achiuwa was all the way down in the paint. He wasn't even up there guarding that. I was like, yo, why is he all the way down there? Right? So, once again, when guys are all over the place like that, like you got to look at what the hell is going on? Why is he making these decisions? So sometimes what happens is you got to go to practice. You got to go to pregame shoot around. You got to be like, yo, what's being taught here, man? Because you guys are doing it. Because, guys, listen, they're doing the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. It's insane, man. So I'm just confused as to why it's continuing to be done. One of my day ones, Gravity, says, how many drop coverages do we have to run before we realize it's not working? Agreed, man. Agreed. And we're running drop. Yo, man. I don't see anybody else running that nonsense but us, man. We're getting destroyed at the 3. Destroyed. Cat cannot drop, man. I don't care if he's by the 3-point line. He's got to move his feet, man. You got to coach that out of him. You got to get him because we cannot continue to give wide open threes. If Precious Achiuwa is at the top of the key with a guy like Tatum, you got to pick your poison, man. You got to let him guard up and check up. You got to let that happen. You got to let that happen. But what we can't do is have Bridges come over to help and leave a wide open Jaylen Brown, from the shortest part of the 3-point line, which is the corner threes, the shortest distance for a wide open 3. Sorry. LV almost lost it. Yo, who's coaching that, man? Why are they doing that? It's insane. So it's little things like that. Tendria said, if it's not the players, then as the captain, shouldn't Brunson speak up? Tendria, speak up to who? To Tibbs? Like, say what? What is he going to say? I'm sure. Listen, man. I'm sure him and his pops have real conversations. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do, man. I'm sure they do. Over dinner, or if he's over his dad's house visiting his mom, he's probably with his parents, and he's like, "Dad, yo, why are we doing this?" Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Trust they're having real conversations, but I don't know if he's going directly to Tibbs. And if he is, Tendria, if he is, you think Tibbs is changing? Tibbs isn't changing anything, man. He's too stubborn to do that. If that's the case, this would have been changed a long time ago, because they're making the same mistakes they made opening night when they got blasted by 30-something points, or they were down by 30-something, and they gave up 29 or 33s. They would have fixed it since then. They're making the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's the definition of insanity. It's insane. Tendria says, then this is why the entire coaching staff needs to go. Okay, so boom, there you go. I didn't say it, you did. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. This is easy. This is not hard. And the only reason I'm saying that is because it's the same problems. It's the same issues. So you can't throw away the whole team. I just said who's not leaving. I said it earlier. So you got to say, okay, who's got strengths? Who's got weaknesses? Knicks 100 GM said, yo, we need to get Cat in the post, polish up his game, get him in the post. Okay, cool. Okay, well, until he polishes his game, we got to identify the mismatches and say, yo, Cat, you got a smaller man on you. We don't want you at the top of the key trying to dribble the ball like your point guard. Get in the box and get busy, right? Who does that? Who says that? Who's running the shit, man? Who's the general? Who's coaching the team? Like, what's going on? This Rover says, I'd rather have them attack Cat and get a 2 than another wide open 3. Yo, Disc Rover, thank you, man. Thank you. It's simple, man. You know why? Because if they penetrate Cat, right, there's a possibility, right? There's a possibility, right? 50-50, 60-40, that he blocks the shot because someone's trying to make a layup on him, right? There's a possibility. Or someone could come help and they'll slide over and they'll get a charge, right? That's a big difference than swinging over and doubling and leaving someone wide open all the time. That's coaching, man. That's a simple switch. You call timeout, boom, okay. Everybody sit down. Yo, I don't want nobody chasing. Switch on everything. Let's keep it simple, like we're back in middle school. Switch on everything. If you got to guard them at the top of the key, check up. Don't help. If you help, you're getting out. You're coming out the game. You got to check up. If you're going to give them a jump shot, let them get a jump shot. Don't let nobody dribble past you. If you feel like you can check them, yep. I don't want no more wide open shots. None. I mean, this is simple, man. This is not hard, man. Let's take it back to basics. Gravity says, I wonder if Leon can talk to Tibbs about adapting being that no one else can. I think he knows Tibbs better than anybody, right? He was his agent. He was really, really close to Tibbs. He still is really close to Tibbs. Little secret here, guys. He gave Tibbs a job when no one else would. Remember, Tibbs was out the league. Not even out the league, but he was on the bench for the Celtics, and I think he was on the bench for the Spurs. He was on the bench for a couple of teams, man. No one would give him a job. And then his boy got the job over there with the Knicks, and he called Tibbs. He's looking out for his boy. But no one wanted to give Tibbs a shot. No one, man. Because they know his shortcomings. They know where he's limited. And granted, and it's why I'm not destroying Tibbs. I'm just talking what I see, man. He's a good coach. He's going to be able to win games. He's going to be able to get you here. He's going to be able to kind of bring excitement. And he's done a fabulous job. But I think he's reached his ceiling, man. Are they going to give him another year? Most likely. Most likely they are. I don't think Tibbs is not going to get fired this summer. I don't think so. But I will say this, though. If they get smacked in the second round, let's say they get swept, or they get a gentleman's sweep, they lose like 4-1. I would not be surprised if Tibbs is going this summer. I would not be surprised. Tripping on my words. I would not be surprised if Tibbs steps down because he sees that he's having a hard time, and they give him a job in the front office or something like that, and they bring in a younger coach. I would not be surprised if all those things are done. Do you understand? So anything's possible. This world says at this point, let's see, Dice Hashimoto coach over Tibbs. Yo, but he coaches. What do he coaches the G League team, right? Oh no, he coaches Summer League teams. He coaches the Summer League team. We need an SOS coaches to stress call. Yeah, man. It's just. I think, guys. Here's my thing, right? And this is not. I just think it's a simple thing, man. This is not hard. And I think in anything in life, right? I'm going out and going deep here. LV likes to do that, right? Story time with LV. Anything in life, right? Anything in life. If it's not working, if it's the same outcome, what do we usually do, people? We change things up, don't we? Don't we? That comes with anything. That comes with life, comes with relationships. That comes with anything. You change things up. If you're seeing the same, let's see, I almost lost it again. If you're seeing the same stuff over and over and over and over again, and you're continuing to do it, it makes you insane, man. It makes you insane, low-key insane. So you're going to have to fix something. They're going to have to. And then here was the kicker, right? Here was the kicker of all of it, right, guys? Here was really what blew my gasket. Cat goes down with that knee injury, right? Well, how much are we down by? I think we're down by 16 at this point, maybe 15. Cat goes down with the knee injury. I think it was 3 minutes left in the game. No, I'm bugging. It was a little bit more than that. Maybe 6 minutes left in the game. 6 minutes left in the game, I think. Yeah, it was 6 minutes because Brunson came back in. It was about 6 minutes left. Cat is like, you see, he's bothered. Like his knee is like it's killing him. You can see it, right? He goes in the back. Then 3 minutes in the game left. We're still down by like 15 or 13 or whatever the number is. It's not like it's a 2-point game. He subs Cat back in. And Cat is out there limping. I said, are you out of your fucking mind, man? Are you that disconnected that you do something stupid like that? That makes no sense. We're going to need this guy. It's irresponsible, man. You got to look and be like, tell him no. No, take him back. No, go sit down. No. Have a seat. Put some ice on it. We got 2 days off. We got Monday and Tuesday. We play Philly Wednesday. Sit down, man. Sit down. I'm glad you're walking. You seem like you're okay. Good. I'm not putting you back out there for something else to happen. You fall on it again, and then you're out for the year. Sit down and relax, right? No, he allows him to come back in. I saw something on because I don't think they allowed them to go to the locker room. I don't think they filmed it. They asked Tibbs, why did he do that? He says, the player said he was fine. So I don't give a what he says, Tibbs. I don't care what he says. You got to be smart enough to identify the scoring. We got a whole season. We got the playoffs. This guy's limping. He's our best player outside of Brunson. He go back out there and lay on his knee and tears his ACL. What is going to be your excuse then? This guy, this is the issue with him, man. It does not make any sense. I went ballistic. Do not put him back in. You see what I mean? So this is why I'm saying the things that I'm saying. I'm just not pulling this out the air. This guy is not connected, man. It doesn't, I'm telling you, it doesn't register to him. He's in the moment, like in the moment of the moment. Like he doesn't think long term. He's not saying like, yo, when Cat came out and he was on the bench, I said, yo, the game is over. He played well. Let's live the fight another day. Nah, man. It's 3 minutes left in the game, boss. We're down. It's okay, man. I love the fight. I love that you're being a warrior here, right? And you want to come back in and fight with your team, with your brothers, right? I get it, right? But right now, my man, we don't need you to be a hero. Sit down. Put some ice on it. We're good. All right? Because we're going to need you because we got Embiid Wednesday. Chill out. Well, he said he was fine, so I let him back in the game. Tips, 3 minutes left in the game, Tips. There's 3 minutes left in the game, Tips. The guy's grabbing his knee. He's had knee problems. He had knee surgery last year, Tips. What if he gets hurt again, Tips? Is he going one shot that he makes? Is that going to bring us back? I'm just asking. I'm curious, man. This is the stuff, guys. This is the stuff. It does not make any sense. Slim Boggs, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss on the boys, 118 and 105. The captain, 22 points, 4 assists. So this is the stuff why people get mad, man. Oh, where's BKLA, man? What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss on boys, 118 and 105. The Big Cat, 24 points, 18 boards. Wiz says this is what Tibbs always does. He has almost sociopathic lack of empathy response to players with injuries or fatigue. Deuce had a knee inflammation. He played 25 plus minutes in back-to-back games. Yo, Wiz is on it. Wiz is on it. You can say, LV, you're bugging out about Tibbs not knowing the schemes. You could say, LV, you're bugging out. Tibbs brought this franchise back out of the depths. You could say, LV, man, Tibbs' connection with CAA. He's not going anywhere. Just deal with it, because this is Tibbs, right? You could say all that stuff. But what happened today with 6 minutes, with 3 minutes left in the game was irresponsible, man. It was irresponsible, man. It was. It was. And this is the issue that people have, man, with him. And this is why people say the things that they say about him. And it does not make any sense. The guy is not connected, man. He's not. And yes, he, all the stories about Tibbs. Oh, he doesn't leave the training facility. He lives in the film room. He's got a bed in there. He doesn't believe in vacation. He just wants to watch film. He wants to watch film. Tibbs is a basketball junkie. Like all these things. I don't give a about that, man. If you can't make the connection that your star player just came out the game and said he hurt his knee. The game is over. You're going to need him because we don't know what's the situation with Mitch. We don't have no one else that can give his production. And he's out there limping. Why would you put him back in? Why? It's just. I have some choice words I want to say, but we'll keep it G-rated, right? For this LV Live show. It's just irresponsible, man. It's irresponsible. And there's no excuse for it. None, man. None. Vaughn Allen, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss to them boys, 118 to 105. Josh Hart was big. Return game for him, 20 points, 11 assists. He looked good, man. 11 rebounds, excuse me. Josh Hart looked good, man. He looked good. Them 2 days off really helped him, man. He looked like Josh Hart today. I loved what he brought, man. I loved what he brought. Josh Hart was the heart and soul of this team, man. No pun intended. Vaughn Allen says, Tom is no answer. Right. Don't, yeah. That was a crazy move on. You know what I'm saying? It just like it just doesn't make any sense, man. And to me, that was that out of everything tonight, that was the biggest blunder to me by him. You know what I mean? And and once again, right, guys, we could talk about the effort. We could talk about a lot of different things with this team, right? And I think there's things. I think Bridges has got to play better. I agree with that. I'm not sitting here trying to say he was great. I think there's certain things Cat's got to do better. I think certain things Brunson's got to do better. Right. We can pick apart every guy, man. Things that they got to do better. Right. I think Deuce has got to be a little bit more solid coming off the bench with his shot. Right. It's a lot of things. We could point the finger at a lot of things, guys. But what we have to identify more than anything is that there's no way, as good as a talented team that we have, we're extremely talented. There's no way we should be getting blown out like this by these teams. No way, man. No way. There's no way we should have got blown out by 27 or by 40 by the Cavs. There's no reason why we were down 20 in the first quarter. We had to fight our way to come back in this game, make it somewhat respectable, but really still we got smoked again today against these top teams. There's no reason why we played OKC at home and got throttled like that. Like this is becoming a pattern, man. We got smoked by Boston at home. I mean, we're losing bad, man, really bad. That should not happen to a team this talented. That's a problem. LV, man, what do you think about Precious playing today? I thought Precious was okay, man. I think there's things he's got to get better with. We all know that, man. We all know he's limited, right? We all know he's limited. I think him playing the 4 is the best for him. I think he's got to get his confidence up. I think when he's guarding Tatum, he can't be playing scared. Like you could tell he's nervous about guarding. You could tell him his movements and stuff. He's unsure of himself. You could see it out there. I think that dunk that Tatum had on him last game at the Garden, the first play, and he flushed it on with 2 hands, that might have shook him up a bit. And so you could tell when he's up there guarding these guys, he's unsure of certain things. He's got to get his confidence up, man. He's got to get his confidence up. But I think all in all vibes, he's got to work on his game this summer. He's got to work on catching the ball well, finishing better at the rim because he misses way too many layups, right? But I think that's all about concentration and just working on your game. You got to get better. The only way you're going to get better is you got to play. And you got to work. He's going to have to work on his game this summer. Work on things that's going to get him better. Not just work on stuff by yourself, but he's got to play a lot of open run. Like he's got to go to a lot of these open runs that are orchestrated around the league. There's a big one out there in Cali. I forget his name, man. I have it at the tip of my tongue. Oh, Rico Hines. He has a lot of great runs. A lot of pros go out there and play. Guys from overseas go over there and play. It's like, and I think it's in UCLA. Those are really good open runs. Precious has got to do more of that. He's got to get better with his game. And he's got to work on his game also too by himself, work on some things. And then I think he'll be a better player, man. But he's got to, I love his effort. I love his activity. I just think he was overmatched today. And I think when they switch on him, they're, Tatum and Brown are licking their chops because they could see the fear in his eyes when they get the ball. And he can't do that. He's got to be a lot more confident and have a little bit more grit when he's guarding those guys. You know what I'm saying? Vaughn Allen says this is a very position size small team, and those 2 big lineups were out there. Tibbs didn't match up. Tom didn't match up. Yeah, man, I think he's trying to. Who do we got coming off the bench, right? Shaman is 6'3", 6'4". Campaign is 6'3". Deuce is 6'1", right? We have no size coming off the bench. The only size we have is Okporte and Dadier. But he didn't develop those guys enough to trust them to play them, right? So you don't have any big guys coming off the bench who can really defend and who can contest shots. So Tatum and Brown are tough. Tatum's about 6'10". He's big, man. He's big. That's why he does what he does. He's almost 6'10". He's about 6'9", 6'10". So, and Brown is about 6'6", 6'7". So those guys are tough, man. They're tough, and they defend. They're defensive beasts, right? So, the matchup is tough, and we don't really have guys coming off the bench that can really match that. That's why, once again, when I go down this, my whole argument before was the importance of developing someone like Dadier. You got to develop those guys. You got to develop those guys because everybody's going 10 deep. How many did Boston play tonight? How many guys did Boston play? Boston went 9 deep. No, I'm bugging when I'm doing math. No. Yes, they went 9 deep. Boston went 9 deep, right? So everyone's going, most teams are going 9 to 10 deep. But that's because they developed their guys. And a lot of teams are playing rookies. They're playing like a lot of their guys. The Knicks aren't doing none of that. None of that. And that's a problem. That's huge. But once again, that comes down to the general, man. You know what I'm saying? So based on the way things are money-wise, you can't say, okay, go out and go buy me players. It doesn't go like that today. Because of the apron and because of everything, you're going to have to really develop your rookies. You got to develop these guys, man. You got to develop these guys. You got to develop Dottier. You got to develop Kolick. You got to develop, another guy you're going to probably get in the draft, because there's no guarantee you're going to get somebody this summer that's going to be really good. Things are expensive. You got the second April. There's so many different things that are in the way of the Knicks making moves that you're going to really have to develop your young guys. You're going to have to, because everyone else is playing young players. From Houston to Memphis to, of course, OKC, all these guys are playing young dudes. Cleveland. Those are all young players. J. Deal said the problem is that Tibbs' outdated pack the paint philosophy is trash. Deals. Well said, man. That's a 5-star right there. Agreed, man. Agreed. That philosophy is dated, man. Look at this. OKC Cavs Celtics don't play the starters more than 32 minutes per game. Agreed, man. Agreed. They're doing hockey shifts, man. That's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ways that this could be fixed, man. This is easy, but once again, it's all about the general, right? Because Tibbs is involved in a lot of different things. Guys, I sound like a broken record, man, but there's a reason why I was stressing get Ryan Dunn out of Virginia to come in here and play, because he's a ready-made project. He's ready to go. He's big, too. He's about 6'8". He's big, and he's athletic, and he can guard. You got to draft a guy like that. The Knicks overlooked him, drafted Dottier. You're not even playing the kid. So once again, like, this is like these moves is just not smart, man. So I'm just it's a lot of parameters in place. The Knicks can't just do what they want to do. So that's why I'm saying this summer's going to be ill, because you're going to kind of see what they do and what they can do with the money matches up. It's a lot of different things that go into play. But the thing that's really stays true, what can really work, is you draft right and you develop your young players. That's it. That's it. Vaughn says exactly. You have to prime them up. By not playing them, they're losing their confidence by the minute. Agreed, man. Agreed. You got to play these guys. You got to play them because here's the thing, Vaughn. You don't have the money to go out there and just go spend and say, yo, you know what? I want to buy Drew Holiday. It doesn't go like that. I want to get Isaiah Job from OKC. I want to bring him here now. It doesn't go like that. You just can't do that. A lot of those guys are homegrown guys. They develop their talent, man. Dendria says, we need to package Deuce, Shamet, Payne, and try to get IQ and Defoe back and play rookies with them off the bench. IQ's not coming back, man. He's making too much money up there, and IQ wants to run the show, man. That's why he left. He didn't want to back up Brunson. He knew Brunson was the man. IQ did not want to back up Brunson. He wanted some place where he could be the man, and he's getting that up there in Toronto. And, he's getting paid big money. I think, how much is IQ getting paid? He's getting paid over $100 million, right? He's getting paid some bread up there. So, and DiVincenzo coming back. Me and Big Taz talked about it. I think he's tanking out there. I think he's tanking out there in Minnesota, trying to come back. What you say, Big Taz? Big Taz, make sure you're making them phone calls, making sure he's still on board. Brooklyn Knicks fan, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rocking with LV Live. Tough loss on the boys, 118 and 105. The captain, 22 points, 4 assists. Also, 2 people, when you come through, please make sure you hit that like button for me, man. I truly appreciate it. Please come through and do that. Brooklyn Knicks fan says, why is OG getting paid like he's a prime Giannis or prime Zion? Knicks only organization overplaying B-plus players like the A-plus stars. Yo, Brooklyn Knicks fan, man, that's a valid point, man. But I think if you remember how the negotiations went, right? everybody wanted OG Anunoby, right? They did. And I think the Knicks did an overpay because they knew that they gave up a lot to get him. Does that make sense? So they gave up IQ and RJ, who are young talents for OG Anunoby. So when they were in negotiations to get him to sign with the Knicks, other teams were calling him because he can go anywhere now. He's a free agent. And so he probably heard a number from other teams, but the Knicks kind of had to overpay to keep him because then if that's the case, Brooklyn Knicks fan, you lose IQ and RJ for nothing. So they kind of had to overpay to keep OG Anunoby because a lot of people wanted him, man. It wasn't just the Knicks. Remember, the reports were out there was that Philly was blowing his phone up to come out there and play next to Embiid. And then if they did that, they probably would have made the Paul George deal, right? There was a couple of other teams, contenders, that were calling his phone. Of course, his agent is what I'm speaking of, right? So, there probably was a number out there that was pretty high that the Knicks heard of the number, and they probably realized they had to go above that. And so that's why he got $212 million when we wound up keeping him. But we had to do it, Brooklyn Nets fan, because then we couldn't lose IQ and RJ for nothing, man. And so that was why that happened. This Rover says we are in a desperate need of a backup forward, and a center, both of which we have in our rookie system. Agreed. Haporte and Dadier. Why not develop those guys? Why not develop? They're right there, and they're free. Meaning you don't got to go out and get them. They're right there. Vaughn Allen, there you go. See, OG had the leverage, man, because iHeart was going boom, boom. So listen, it's very similar. 3 moves. The Knicks were kind of stuck. Ready? The iHeart move, right? They couldn't do nothing with that. OKC paid them more money than the Knicks can give them. And because of that, the OG move. They were stuck because they moved RJ and IQ, like I just said. The Towns move. They didn't want to give up Dante. But they knew that because of the tax and because of the apron, Minnesota wanted to ship him off bad. So they knew that they had to make the deal, and they said, yo, man, look, we can take Randall. That's cool, but we want Dante. I've said this before. If we don't get Dante, this deal ain't being done. And the Knicks were afraid that someone else was going to call Minnesota an hour later and say, yo, we got the deal, and the deal's done. Boom, and the Knicks lost out on Cat, who they've been wanting for a long time now. And they knew they weren't going to re-sign Randall. So that's why they did that. So once again, it was a pressure cooker, right? Same thing with Bridges. They wanted Bridges. Brooklyn said, oh, yeah? This is what we want for him. Once again, the Knicks were kind of like in a bind because they knew they needed another wing. But why sit around with those picks, not knowing what's going to happen or who, whatever? That's why they did that. JDO says Tibbs has to stop having his 5 trying to defend the pick and roll and protect the paint at the same time. JDO, here's the thing. I don't think the drop works at all. And the reason why I don't think it works at all, JDO, is because now you're giving elite 3-point shooters wide open threes. That's why we're getting smoked from 3. You're going to have to give up something. You just got to pick your poison. I would rather Cat guard at the top of the key, contest, let them shoot a jump shot, go to the rim, maybe block their shot, maybe draw a charge, something, but we cannot continue to give up wide open threes because you're afraid of someone making a layup. AJ Live, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Tough loss to them boys, 118 to 105. The Big Cat, 24 points, 18 rebounds. Okay, everybody coming through rocking with me, man. I appreciate this. AJ says Knicks do overplay B-plus stars like Melo, who never won anything, never had a star like Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan. It's tough, man. It's tough getting these stars here. It's tough. Brooklyn Knicks fan said Ewing was a B-plus star to he was never on Jordan or another A-plus player's level. Nah, he wasn't. I mean, Ewing was a Hall of Famer, but nah, he wasn't on them dudes' level, man. He just wasn't. He was a hell of a ball player, but nah. Knicks never had an A-plus star. They always overpay for yeah, that's true, man. That's true. It's true. Jay Supreme says, answer. He's getting paid what he's getting because the NBA contracts went up last year. That's why Tatum and Brown are getting $60 million a year. There you go. There you go. And I think if I'm correct, anybody please correct me. I think the cap is going up again this year. So guys are going to be able to get paid more. Remember, Cat's getting $60 million, man. Cat's getting a lot of cheese. So, yeah. So the cap is going up again. So it's going to be ill, man. It's going to be ill. It's going to be ill. It's going to be a lot of changes we got to make. But what I will say is this. This can't continue to be the outcome. We can't be this good of a team, which we are, because we don't stink, guys. We're a really good team, and getting blown out like this by top teams. Like that's where I have the biggest issue. And I've said this earlier, and I'm going to continue to say it. It does not make any sense. And it comes from your general, man. If you can't make adjustments, if you can't figure out the way to make this to get the sausage made or whatever, cook the pasta. If you can't, they're gonna bring somebody else in here to cook it, because these are the groceries, right? These are the groceries. These are the guys. So you got to cook it up, man, and make it work. And if you can't, they're gonna get somebody else in here who can. That's it. That's the answer to all answers. Because Cat's not going anywhere, man. He's not. You see the numbers he put up today, right? I mean, Cat is legit. He's no bum. He's way better than Randall. And if you can figure out the glitch, the matrix glitch, or the matrix fix, however you want to say it, to get him to reach his superpowers, that's your job as a coach. You got to figure out defensively what you need to do to make this team better. That's your job as a coach. So, yeah, Tip should live in a film room. I don't know. Figure out something, but it's got to get better, because they can't continue to get blown out, because, trust me, Leon's going to make a change. Because I'm telling you right now, they get swept in the second round or whatever, or if it's nasty, and every game they're getting blown out by 20, you think a change isn't happening? Brooklyn Knicks fan said, well, don't even want to pay Mikal that extension. I think they're kind of going to have to, man, because Brooklyn Knicks fan, if they can't get nothing back for him, then that means they give up the 5 picks and all that other stuff for nothing. Are the Knicks going to walk away from him with nothing? I just like to ask that. Like, is that going to happen? You know? This Rover says we've been embarrassed on national TV every single time this season. Not every single time. I think we won a couple of those, but I know what you're getting at. I'll put it to this: against the top teams we have been. Remember, we had that great game against Denver. That was on national television. OG went crazy at 40, remember? And of course on Christmas Day, right? So this is so it's been a couple of games. Been a couple of games we've won and we look good. Vaughn Allen says, I did like the hedge and defensive rotations when he switched after the hedge on KP. Right? The defensive rotations need to be on a string. Yo, listen, that's what I'm saying, Vaughn. And we said this earlier. You got to switch on that. You got to switch on that. You got to switch. You got to switch. You cannot drop, man. You cannot drop. You got to switch on that. And you got to guard up. You got to guard up. You got to guard your man. You got to guard your man. You can't switch because you're leaving too many guys wide open with that drop. That drop is killing them. He's going to have to trust some guys to guard at the top of the key and just kind of be okay with giving them some layups, or be okay with giving them some 15-foot jump shots or whatever. But you can't be getting killed from 3. They're getting destroyed from 3, man. I mean, it's just the truth. Now, based on certain teams, you could do the drop, yeah. But against teams like this, Boston and you know, the Cavs, you cannot play drop. You cannot. You got to identify these guys' superpower, and he's not making that adjustment, and that's a problem I have, because to me, it's an easy adjustment. Brooklyn Knicks fan says Cat has no bully ball. I think Randall's better because he can create his own shot, while Towns is a big guy who plays like a shooting guard, but is limited speed. I don't like it. Okay, I can see where you see some of the situations with the bully ball with Randall, but he's not a better player. Randall's not a better player than Cat, man. No way. No way. Look at where we are offensively, man. We weren't even close to this with Randall. Not even close. Cat can pass better out the post, out the top of the key. He's a better passer than Randall. He's a better shooter than Randall. He's a better finisher than Randall, and he's bigger than Randall. That's why he's rebounding the way he's rebounding. The bully ball, okay, you can give that to Randall, cool, but that how much of that bully ball? What does that generate? What Cat does generates everything. Everything. He is galaxies better than Randall. I'm just being honest with you. And Nick, Brooklyn Knicks fan, you're talking to a guy that didn't believe that. But what this guy's doing this year, he's going to be first team All NBA, man, with these numbers. Another 18 rebound game. He's going to be first team All NBA, man. Because remember that the pick is they do position lists for that. Who's having a better year than Cat right now? You can name them. Joker, of course, SGA. Giannis won't be eligible because he's going to be hurt. Who else is having a better year than Cat? Bro, I'm just saying his numbers are crazy. What guys? What's his numbers? 25 and 14, right? 25 and 14. Those numbers are crazy, man. Vaughn Allen says, LV, man, do you believe this coach can get the Knicks to the promised land, or is his ceiling semis? Yo, I don't think he can. Not that he's not going to. I don't think he can. I think he has reached his ceiling, Vaughn Allen. I think they're going to give him another shot next year, but I think he's reached his ceiling. I don't know if he can adjust his ways with this team, because this is a finesse team. This is not a hard-nosed team like what he's used to, right? This is an offensive team that has some rough, rugged guys like OJ Anunoby and Josh Hart, but that's it. The rest of those guys are finesse dudes. Bridges is a finesse guy. Brunson is a finesse guy. He can be rugged, but he's really a finesse guy. Cat is all finesse. You understand what I'm saying? So you got different guys on this team. You know what I mean? So the only rough and rugged guy he's got is Mitch, but Mitch is injury prone, right? So I think semis is the ceiling. The only way he reaches the Eastern Conference Finals if Boston gets hurt or Cavs get hurt with a big injury or something crazy like. But man for man, team for team, I think he gets outcoached in those things, in those games, in those series. I think he gets outcoached, and you're seeing it now. There's no way the Knicks should be getting blown out like this. Their doors blown off by 40 points, 30 points, 28 points by these teams. The talent gap is not that wide. That's what I'm saying. What's making it that wide is the coaching. That's what's making it. So the Knicks, some of the games the Knicks should lose. I'm not gonna lie. They should lose maybe 5, 6, maybe 10 points, right? But they're getting blown out. They got blown out by 40 the other night. 40. So there's not a huge talent gap there. It's a big coaching gap, right? Because these coaches are getting their players to play better, scheme better, all this stuff better than the Knicks. They're running circles around the Knicks. It ain't like they got better players or astronomically better players. Cat's only getting these numbers against bums. Though, let's be honest. Yo, my man, he had 24 and 18 tonight. He had 24 and 18 against Boston. He had 20. What do you have the other night? And they got blown out by 40. He had 20-something in that game, too. He had a great game against Joker, too. He dominates Joker. I mean, Cat has put him crazy. How many times he scored 40 points this year? There was one game I think he had 40 and 20. I mean, he's putting up crazy numbers, man. So you can't say against all bums. He's putting up legit numbers, man. There's a reason why he's starting in the East. How many All-Star games he made? What is his 5th All-Star? It's probably his best season ever that he's ever had. He's playing out of his mind this year, man. Out of his mind. So I have to disagree with you there, sir. Exactly. That's why I asked you, man. It's crazy, man. All right, people, let me get up out of here. Listen, everybody enjoy their Sunday, man. All right, don't let this ruin your Sunday. Go out and go see a movie. I just saw Captain America, man. That was ill. Go see Captain America, man. That joint was ill. So everybody go out to the movies. I don't know, do something. Go out to eat. Have a good Sunday, man, before we get back to the grind tomorrow, man. All right, listen, I'll be back Wednesday. All right, but listen, I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me. Tough loss from the boys, 118 to 105. I will be back Wednesday to discuss that Sixers game, so hopefully we can get back in the winning comment, all right? winning column. All right, but listen, I'm LV Live. That's my show. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. All right. Also, too, if it's your first time coming through, or you're on the replay gang, please subscribe to the channel and also to leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right, people. But listen, I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me, man. I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.